COAI coin, the next AI crypto gem for 2025? Hidden potential explained. Imagine an AI native blockchain where the network itself coordinates and pays for data, compute, models, and AI agents. That's the bold pitch behind ChainOpera AI, commonly referenced as COAI, and today we're doing a long, no-fluff deep dive on what makes it different, how real-world use cases could drive adoption, what tokenomics and supply dynamics mean for holders, and whether those bullish analyst calls have merit. First off, the core technical difference. Unlike many projects that add AI on top of a standard token or marketplace, COAI is being built as a collaborative AI protocol, a marketplace orchestration layer that connects AI users, developers, modality providers, and GPU resource providers into one economy where credits, reputation, and on-chain settlements are native features. And the project documentation and white paper style material describe a collaborative AI protocol and credit system intended to coordinate incentives across participants rather than just sell access to a closed API. ChainOpera. This architecture matters because it aims to solve two hard problems simultaneously. One, decentralizing the economic settlement and value capture for AI compute data so contributors get paid fairly, and two, enabling composable AI agents that can be owned, profiled, and monetized on-chain, meaning developers can build agent-based products that tap decentralized model marketplaces and pay for compute in a trust-minimized way, potentially giving COAI a product mode if adoption follows. ChainOpera. What really separates COAI from the sea of AI coin tokens is that it emphasizes an infrastructure play rather than a single model or a single app token. In other words, if ChainOpera succeeds at delivering a performant, low-latency mesh for AI workloads with economic primitives for data and GPU rental, it becomes a protocol layer, not just an app token, which is how it could capture much larger long-term value compared to a single vertical dApp. ChainOpera on tokenomics. COAI has a sizable total supply plan and a circulating supply in the low hundreds of millions today, with public listings and market data showing circulating supply and FDV figures that place its current market cap in the low hundreds of millions range. Numbers you should always double check live since exchange flows and token unlocks change these figures fast. Coin markups. One, practically speaking, that supply profile means price appreciation will need adoption, volume, and a narrative shift in sentiment rather than pure scarcity. But if the network starts capturing real fees for AI compute and data exchange, the protocol could create recurring demand for tokens used to settle credits and reputation fees. ChainOpera. Now let's talk roadmaps and timelines, because for an infrastructure protocol the timeline is everything. Public roadmaps and aggregator summaries indicate COAI is aiming to launch testnets and ecosystem expansion in late 2025 with mainnet ambitions slated for the following year. These are pivotal milestones because testnet usage, developer tooling, and early integrations are the signals that typically precede token re-rating for protocol projects. Coin markups. One, on partnerships and real-world use cases. The immediate, credible near-term use cases are marketplaces for LLMs and niche models, finance, healthcare, personalization, decentralized GPU rental so researchers and builders can rent compute without relying on a single cloud provider, and a reputation marketplace so data labelers, datasty owners, and model curators can be compensated on-chain. ChainOpera. The ecosystem benefits when exchanges and listings provide liquidity. COAI's presence on major price trackers and listings and growing exchange coverage helps onboard traders and liquidity providers, which in turn feeds the narrative and usability for token-based settlements. Binance. One that said, "Be cautious, I'm not seeing a long list of marquee enterprise partnerships publicly announced today, and any partnership claims should be verified on-chain or via official press releases. So right now a lot of the real-world adoption argument rests on the protocol delivering on technical capabilities and then attracting builders and nodes." ChainOpera. Price outlook and growth potential. The fun and risky part. Across the market, multiple retail and analyst-facing price models for COAI exist, and they vary wildly, from modest short-term trade targets to very bullish medium-term forecasts if adoption and sentiment align. Some price forecast pages and pundit pieces suggest range-bound near-term movement but a multi-X outcome if the mainnet and adoption milestones are hit, while other technical commentaries highlight that current trading structure still has room to run if demand returns. CoinKits to StealthX to so. What does that mean for a YouTube viewer wondering whether to buy? It means COAI's upside is tied to execution on three fronts: technical, delivering a stable, usable testament and developer tools; economic, token utility and burning coping mechanics that tie demand to usage; and market listings, liquidity, and macro crypto sentiment. If those align, early adopters could see outsized returns relative to today's market cap, but remember, it's an infrastructure play, so mainstream rating usually lags real utility by many months or quarters. Point markups 1. Why analysts are calling COAI undervalued. A number of analyst write-ups and industry blogs point to a mismatch between the project's roadmap and ambitions and its market cap. The thesis is simple: markets underappreciate early infrastructure projects until developer traction and fee flows are visible. And because COAI describes a model where on-chain credits and recurrent fees can be captured by the token, analysts argue current prices don't reflect that potential future cash flow. Stealthux 1. Critics counter that promising whitepapers and roadmaps are common in crypto and that tokenomics long-term unlock schedules, team allocations, and market-making flows can dampen price even as technology improves, so read token vesting schedules carefully and watch for large, scheduled unlocks that could create short-term sell pressure. Point markups 1. From a use case POV, imagine an indie developer building a vertical AI assistant that needs specialized healthcare models and bursty GPU access. COAI's marketplace could let that developer license a fine-tuned model, rent JUPs for inference, pay data curators for access, and settle everything with protocol-native credits. That value chain is where demand for COAI tokens theoretically originates. ChainOpera. Another practical point for creators and investors: watch developer adoption signals, GitHub activity, SDK downloads, hackathon entries, testnet nodes, and on-chain metrics, number of unique callers, fee volume, number of resource providers. Those are the leading indicators that typically predict when a token narrative moves from speculative to utility-driven. Coin markups 1. Risk checklist. Because a good script is honest about downside, centralization risk if the node operator set is small, model quality and moderation issues for decentralized models, regulatory risks around data and model IP, the possibility of slow developer adoption, token unlock schedules and liquidity mismatch, and broader crypto market drawdowns that can crush even fundamentally solid projects. Always DYOR. Check official docs, read the code if you can, and verify claims on chain when possible. ChainOpera 1. Tactical place. Some traders use 1. Small stage positions around testament milestone confirmations, 2. Monitoring exchange flows and supply unlock announcements, 3. Watching sentiment in developer channels for real product adoption signals, and for hedging large positions with options or correlated short exposure in the broader AI token sector if you're risk averse. These are not investment recommendations, just pragmatic tactics to manage event-driven risk. Point markups 1. Final verdict for your viewers: COAI is not a meme coin, it's being pitched as an infrastructure protocol for decentralized AI economies, and that differentiator gives it real upside if the team ships, the marketplace attracts models and compute providers, and token value becomes tied to recurring fee flows. Analysts calling it an undervalued AI gem are betting on that execution and the mismatch between today's market cap and potential future utility, but that outcome depends on measurable signals: testnet traction, mainnet adoption, real fee revenue. If you're making a video or an investment decision, spotlight those signals. Show viewers where to verify supply and roadmap milestones. Emphasize the risks and position any buy decision as a speculative, milestone-driven trade rather than a guaranteed moonshot.